Good morning, everybody. I have to finish typing this. Okay, good. Good morning. Happy Monday. So, there's chaos brewing here at the Kidwell household, and in a few moments, I'm going to have to say goodbye to my dear friend. We're going to talk all about his visit that we had over the weekend. They're actually getting ready to head out. Eric's getting ready to take him to the airport here in just a few minutes. So that's going to be happening kind of right here as we are doing our fun little coffee chat this morning. But I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I can't wait to tell you all about mine. We really don't ever get a day off. Not like a day off where you could really just totally disconnect. And we're grateful for that. And I know we've talked about it before, but it's just not that easy. Even if you're like, okay, well, I don't have clients, I don't have appointments, you still have to be monitoring your phone if you have listings, because you have to monitor showing requests. And you do have to respond to emails and text messages as much as you can in an efficient manner. If there's something that's kind of that immediate emergency kind of importance factor. But I did have this weekend blocked off of my calendar, Saturday and Sunday, because we had our dear friend come in town to visit with us. He got here on Friday night, stayed with us. He's, again, getting ready to head back to the airport here in just a few minutes. They're over there chatting. So it was really nice to kind of have something to look forward to. And that'll be a little bit further when we talk about our What's Brewing. We're going to kind of, give you some inside scoop on that. But it was a nice weekend. It was a nice opportunity to kind of sit and relax a little bit, but at the same time go enjoy, just kind of reminiscing and hanging out together. So that was what was super fun for me. I hope you guys had a good weekend as well. The other good thing about being at Disney over the weekend is that I was able to take a look at some of the new merchandise. So on that, we're going to talk about my mug of the day. Here's my new mug. Isn't it adorable? So I actually got 3 new mugs. If you don't know, Winnie the Pooh is absolutely my favorite. I grew up with a giant Winnie the Pooh. And I may have told this story before, but I'll tell it again. Winnie the Pooh, listened to the Winnie the Pooh stories all the time. The stories back when I was younger, my cousin and I had LPs, the albums, right, that you put on your record player. And it was the Winnie the Pooh stories. And that's what we would do. So Winnie the Pooh was always my favorite. And I remember that there was a Sears store close to where I lived. And I remember, I vividly, I can still remember this. I remember walking through the store with my mom, holding her hand. And then I walked past this really tall rack. And at the tip top was this giant Winnie the Pooh. And I remember, dropping her hand and turning around and walking backwards. And I started to climb up that set of shelves to get that Winnie the Pooh because it was so big. And I actually do still have that Winnie the Pooh. It's in my closet. I have quite a few other ones, but Winnie the Pooh is absolutely my favorite Disney character. So I was thrilled to get a couple of new mugs. This is my favorite. I love it. We of course rode the ride, but isn't that sweet? So this is the Pooh that I remember growing up with. As with some of those original characters, you kind of see them kind of go through some transitions from here and there, time to time. And certainly Winnie the Pooh was one of them. But that's kind of the one that I remember that kind of feels closest to me. So anyway, I digress. Enough about Winnie the Pooh. But while we're at it, what's your favorite Disney character? While we're kind of on the Disney conversation, your character, maybe your theme. That was one of the things too we were chatting about while we were kind of walking through. I mean, we're older, right? But I have 4 kids, and when our kids were younger, we couldn't wait for the new Disney movie to come out. So we would always go. They were just like everybody else's child, right? We had to have all the merchandise. You had to have the dolls or the action figures or the little houses or all the things that kind of related around that movie. And it's now that my kids are older, we don't necessarily go to the movie theater to watch that, but we do still try to watch them, on TV. We'll watch, through however they're streaming or whatever those terms are nowadays. But like we've seen Coco and Moana, didn't see them with our children in the theater, but we kind of watched it together at home. Anyway, talking to my friend, I was like, without children or, as an adult, do you go to see those Disney movies? And, have you seen this one or have you seen this one or have you seen this one? And in a lot of the cases, he hadn't seen those movies. So we have given him homework. So as we went through Hollywood Studios, again, we'll talk a little bit more about this in a little bit, but when we went,
you could go to it.
Yeah, we can go through it. But when we when we were walking, going through the whole Toy Story world, we were talking about Toy Story, and not having seen the movie, I'm sure it doesn't kind of, resonate or connect quite as much, but oh my gosh, that place is amazing. So at any rate, so Eric says I should go ahead and do what's brewing, and he's getting ready to leave. So just please don't walk out until I get to say one more goodbye. Okay. All right. So let's go to then what's brewing, and we'll kind of talk about my fun weekend. Okay, so I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can see a little bit better. Okay, there we go. Now I can see. All right, so Disney Day. As we were kind of talking about beforehand, it was a really nice Disney weekend. So he arrived Friday night. Saturday morning, we got up nice and early and drove the 10 minutes to Disney from our house. That's kind of amazing. Went to the Magic Kingdom, and honestly, we did quite a bit. So let's talk about my friend though for a second, because this is what I think is really exciting and kind of one of the reasons that kind of prompted his visit. So way back when, again, depending on how many of you have watched for however long you have, you might know that Eric and I have a performing background. We were dancers and singers, and Chip is actually one of the most talented people I've ever met. And he is in this photo. He is the one holding the microphone. So if you look to the left of the photo, by the way, definitely check out the hair on the gals there. Remember they did wigs and everything back then. So kudos to being able to dance and sing with that on. But if you look at Chip, he's the one holding the microphone. So Chip was there as one of the kids of the kingdom. This was Disney's 15-year celebration. So while he's been back maybe a couple of times, it's been quite a while before he was able to walk down Main Street. And this was really, really, really a fun moment of just kind of reminiscing. And so I want to find the second picture. Well, this is us together. So this is Chip, and this is me in front of the castle. This is kind of, obviously not too long after we walked in, but this was probably my favorite moment. So this is Chip looking to the back of the stage. We were getting ready to walk through the castle, because keep in mind, as a kid of the kingdom, that was their stage. That was their green room, their dressing room. That was everything was within the castle. And that was the stage. So as we were getting ready to walk through the tunnel, through the castle, we just took a moment to, he could sit there and kind of see and reminisce. I mean, it's been a hot minute since those days, but we were kind of talking about the stage and what's different now. So that was really nice, to be able to go back and kind of reminisce. And I'm sure for him to be able to, walk down the streets again, and seriously, quite a talent. So we are absolutely honored and thrilled that, number one, he's our friend, but number two, he came back to kind of visit and hang out with us. So that was super fun. We really enjoyed kind of walking down the streets. So on Saturday, yes, so Saturday we were at Magic Kingdom. I think the first thing we did was, I don't remember now what we did. But I do know that we went to the Hall of Presidents, and I do know that I cried. I get really emotional well, first of all, I'm an emotional person anyway, but just the magnitude of that, if you haven't done that. Now, I will tell you, I counted in our theater for our particular show, there were 16 peoples in there. 16 people in that theater. And if you've ever been into that theater, into the Hall of Presidents kind of arena theater, it's massive. I mean, it will house a lot of people. And there were only 16, and that was a little sad. But at the same time, I'm sure that's not at the top of everyone's list. But I will tell you, if you haven't been, you absolutely should. It's not a long show. And they do update it, because there's like a whole like little mini movie at the beginning that didn't used to be there. And I don't know, it kind of gets you right here. So anyway, so that was amazing. But we did lots of other things. The People Mover, we did Buzz Lightyear, of course. We did Haunted Mansion. We had the most amazing lunch at the Liberty Bell restaurant. And that was absolutely fantastic. There's some things, no matter how many times you go, you feel like there's always something new to experience there. And that was definitely what we did. We experienced an amazing lunch. And then again, we ran to Epcot for a little bit. We did Soarin'. And I can't remember something else while we were there. And then we kind of headed back. And then yesterday was a quicker day, but we went out to Hollywood Studios. That's where we did some Star Wars walking through and some Toy Story. But at any rate, it was a really fun weekend, all the while still connected to this bad boy right here. Oops, I probably shouldn't do all that. Hold on. Let me turn that off so you don't see all this stuff. Okay, hold on. Okay. Well, anyway, so my phone. I had my phone with me the whole time because I still have to kind of respond back and like I said, monitor in case there's any showings for listings. But okay. Get ready to leave?
In a minute, but this is just for a question somebody asked.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so speaking of questions, we're going to get to those in just a second too. So if you haven't already, or if you do have a question, don't forget capital Q with a colon, put that in there and I can reference it. And just again, full disclosure, once Eric leaves, I'm on my own. So I don't know how this is going to go later, but I'm sure we'll be fine. We'll be fine, right? You'll forgive me if I screw this up.
Yes.
All right, so anyway, so fun Disney weekend for us. I don't know what you guys did, but I will tell you that the weather was absolutely Florida perfection. This is why people move here, guys. It was absolutely beautiful. I mean, you could not have asked for 2 more beautiful days to be out strolling through the parks and having some fun with your family or your friends. So hopefully where you were, it was also a beautiful day. I'm sure some of you are like, no, it was freezing cold. No, it was raining. But not here. Not here. It was absolutely fabulous. So another reason why I think you guys should move on down. Okay. So let's keep going with the what's brewing though. So the second thing is the new townhome listing. So we have a new listing. Actually, it's going active today. We actually are finishing up the photos, but I'm allowed to advertise it now because it's within 24 hours. This is a townhome. This is the floor plan is called the Parkwind 2, and it's here in Hawksmoor, which is a community in the Horizon West area here in Winter Garden. So if you were looking for a townhome in this area, this is priced very well, $497.5, 3 bedrooms plus a flex. That flex space is on the first floor. So as soon as you come into the home, immediately to the right is a room that could have been a 4th bedroom, which is not often can you find townhomes with 4 bedrooms, but they chose the flex room option, so you could use it as an office or a playroom or a sitting area, library, whatever you need. There's also a powder bath there on the first floor. It's also an end unit. So if you take a look at this, you can see that all along, looking at the photo on the left side of the home, there's a bunch of windows, which lets in a lot of light. So it has a lot of beautiful light. Across the street from those windows are a few houses. And then behind those houses is like a tree farm. So it's a beautiful views. And again, upstairs, there are 3 bedrooms. And then there's actually a little kind of like a patio area. If you look at that photo again, you can probably see a little bit of white fence. It is a detached garage. So these townhomes in Hawksmoor have a detached garage. So that means you're going to walk out of your house. And in this case, you go down a couple of steps. There's like a little courtyard patio type area for lounging or grilling or whatever you need, and then into your garage. And they've also done some amazing things to the garage. He added an entire like storage area. It's almost like it's a 2-story garage because he's just really maximized the height of that. And again, some other things in the home too. So if you're interested in maybe a townhome type of a home here close to Disney, again, about 10 minutes from Disney, this is a good one. So this one is going active today. And then the next one that I think you're probably excited about is Foxtails. So Foxtail is actually the name of a palm tree. Beautiful palm trees, by the way. I will say, not before moving to Florida, I was not aware that there were so many different species or versions of a palm tree. I mean, I knew there was a couple, but now it's like there's just so many. Foxtails is one of my favorites. You can have a single trunked foxtail, you can have a 2 trunked foxtail, and they actually have 3 trunked foxtails. Really beautiful. And so when this is in conjunction with our pool build update, because I know you guys are just so excited about that. But we are excited because this past week, I don't know what day it was, but they delivered the trees. We got the landscaping done. They did the rocks. Now we still don't have a pool to swim in, but we are expecting our safety inspection today. This afternoon, we are supposed to be getting our safety inspection. As soon as we pass that, they can actually finish the pool, guys. That's what we're waiting on. The electrician came. They finished their little tasks on the pool. And now once the safety inspector comes and cross your fingers that we pass, at that point, they can empty the pool out of all the muck that's kind of, been stuck in there for a while, do all of was it like the power washing and then the acid washing and then the coating of it and then filling the pool and then maybe we'll be swimming. Eric wants me to show you. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here it is. Well, first of
That's
all,
this morning.
That's this morning. So this is Lucy. She has claimed this little spot. I believe it fits her very well. So that's what it looked like this morning, but this is what it looks like at night. Isn't that beautiful? This actually, I don't know if you can see, I guess you can see by the picture, but there's actually 5 sets of the 2-trunked foxtail palms. The one in the middle is in the middle, and that will be, it's directly behind the waterfall. And then it goes. But the main thing you're looking at that Eric wants me to point out is look at all of the hue lights that he's done. He has been like a little kid at Christmas. I kid you not. He has been so excited about this pool building process from the very beginning anyway. This has been his baby. He's been so excited and at times impatient. But, you know, in fact, I don't know if you remember, but there was a period of time, if you look, there's a couple of like trees and plants in planters. Because we were getting so impatient, we wanted to see what it was going to look like with some greenery out there. So he went and got a lot of plants and started planting them in the planters and kind of scattering them here and there. But now we are ready. Now we have actual landscaping. And so we have the extra outlet that is in the back of the pool area. So he was able to get his lights hooked up. And they are hue lights, so he plays with the little app, right? So he changes.
I'm very excited.
He's very excited. So he changes the colors. They have all of the different schemes. He's created some custom ones. There's like an Amy Blue, I think he calls it.
That is Amy Blue.
That is Amy Blue. Okay. So, but it's quite lovely. And for the first time in a long, long time, we've been able to sit out on the lanai and look out to the pool. Well, minus the water to swim in, but look out to the pool area and kind of see this really, really, really coming together. So
everything the light touches.
Oops, sorry about that. I was trying to go back to that. Oh, you're leaving?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, ready?
Where'd he go?
He's gone. He's hanging out.
Oh, okay. Is he upstairs?
No, he's right here.
Chip's right here?
Yeah, goodbye.
No, where is he? Oh, he's right there. Okay, hang on, guys. Oh, bother. Hang on 2 seconds. I love you. Please drive safely. Are we coming in for real ones? Okay, good. I love you. Thank you so much for coming to visit us.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. And please drive safely.
Cool.
Let
Yes.
me know what's going on with him.
Yes.
What did you do? All right. Please do. And tell everybody, don't forget all the other stuff we talked about. You got all your goodies? All right. Love you, Chipper.
Love you too.
Bye. Oh, I'm going to cry now. I really am. Okay. Okay. All right. So they're scooting out. They're heading to the airport. Okay. So let's keep going with this. All right. So anyway, so we talked about the pool. We have all that stuff. Let's take a few questions. And Eric gave me a little note here. So I'm going to do some question searching. So hang tight for me. Okay. Any updates on the Reedy Creek DeSantis situation? And as of today, what are they saying about the impacts to Orange County? Okay, so everything is really kind of quiet at the moment. You know, everyone keeps saying that they're going to resolve this issue and that, you know, without Disney really losing control of Reedy Creek, I think there's an expiration date on it. Sorry, my papers are all over the place. I think it's supposed to be expiring in like June of 2023, I think is what Eric wrote. Yes. June of 2023. So ultimately there's really, it's kind of quiet at the moment. There's just not a lot going on. There's not a lot being said. The election's kind of going on, and but we're hoping that it's not going to really impact Orange County very much. But and then so DizDeb, your question is Ben's question. Well, there you go. There's your answer. So as soon as we have information, we'll let you know. It's like I said, it was kind of a lot of hubbub, a lot of kind of, you know, chaos and confusion and frustration and misinformation and, you know, things like that in the very beginning. But the reality is we don't really know right now. You know, it is a real thing. It's just a matter of, you know, how is it going to get resolved? You know, we feel pretty confident that it will, but, you know, who actually knows? Rob, is everything finally fixed in your home now? Thank you for asking, Rob. And no, the answer is no. So, you know, we've done so many of these now, and I honestly, without having Monday coffee time, I don't know that I would know that it's Monday. But we did have someone, we had the electrician come last week. I don't know what it was. They came to fix the electrical issue that we had. But unfortunately, they did not bring a 20-foot ladder. And they needed a 20-foot ladder to access one of the LEDs that's up in the ceiling. And they, I guess, did not have that on the work order. So they couldn't get anything done. So thankfully, our electricity aspect has not cut off again. knock on wood. I don't want to knock because last time I did that, I made the dogs bark. Knock on wood. But we also haven't had rain. So if indeed when the first electrician came out and we walked around the exterior of the home, he thought it could be a possibility that the exterior floodlight needed to be sealed around that fixture, and that maybe because it wasn't sealed, that maybe some water got in there, and that's what kept shorting out the breaker. And if that's the case, that sort of stands like it could be because it hasn't happened again, and we haven't had any rain. So anyway, so that's for that. And then as far as our baseboards that pulled off the wall, those are coming on Friday. They're coming to fix those. As far as the leak in the window, they are going to send someone to kind of paint and touch up the interior part of it that kind of got messed up just because the paint got wet. But they have come out. The builder has come out and done. They've marked up the entire exterior of the home for exterior, excuse me, stucco cracks. And so they have like, there's white kind of like lines all up the side of our house, and not just ours, lots of them in the neighborhood. And that, my friends, is exactly what you need to do when you have a home in Florida. Exterior stucco. Okay, I can say it. Exterior stucco cracks are very common. They're going to happen to your home. And that's just kind of part of why we had the water issue to begin with. So doing that is homeowner maintenance, but we are within our first year with the builder's warranty. And I will say the builder has taken care of people that are even outside of that warranty. So very happy with Madamie's follow up with that. But so that's our outside has white lines on it, and then they will come back once that is completely dry. Then they come back and they paint it. So you'll never know they were there. But anyway, so thank you, Rob, for asking. We're getting there. And then any updated home tour soon? You mean for our home? Probably. I don't know when I should do it, to be honest, because at the moment we have like just fall decorations up, so we could do it sometime soon, actually. And then we also could do it for the holidays. So, that's a really good question. So why don't you text me and let me know, or chat in here when we do our home tour. Again, we're still not done, guys. We still have projects that we need to do, but we're getting there bit by bit, piece by piece. We're getting there. And I still think there's some good things that I can show you, some things that we did to our home, some things that I like, but that I would change if I knew then what I knew now. Yeah, that's right. For instance, some retractable blinds, I probably would have gone with like a room darkening instead of what I did, but we'll talk about that when I do the home tour. But yeah, definitely want to do that if you guys are interested. So just let me know if you want to do it sooner rather than later, if you want to wait for it to be decorated for Christmas. It's a totally different vibe when it's Christmassy. So, I take away a lot of the decor stuff that kind of makes it what it is. But at any rate, let me see. One more question. When can you see the HOA rules, regulations when doing new construction? Oh, that's a good question. You can actually get them now. You're supposed to be provided those. In fact, most every builder is going to send those to you in the very beginning. It's part of the process. They're supposed to disclose all of that to you. So if you don't have it yet, Sue, let me know and I'll get that to you, because you need to have those. And again, most communities with HOAs, they're going to, if it's in a residential community, most of them are very, very, very similar. The ones that are different are those that are kind of in short-term rental areas, and whether or not you have amenities and things like that. But yeah, you should absolutely have that, honestly, prior to contracting. But if not, you should definitely have it. So if you don't have it now, let me know and I'll get that to you. Anyway, okay, guys. So let's keep going. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to pop back over here and just see if I missed anybody to say good morning to. I think I said hi to Mike. So Pam and Kim and Jared, our friend from Wales, Vicky, Marsha. My goodness. All right. I have to tell you, I'm on the Diet Coke. Oh, I forgot to tell you that too. So there's been icky bugs floating around our house. Eric had been sick with a cold. Then my daughter got it. Chip actually not feeling super well either. And now my son woke up at 6 a.m. this morning throwing up. None of us have had the just feeling that way, but no actual. But my son this morning was throwing up at 6 a.m. So we've had a busy day already. But anyway, so let's see. I was saying good morning to everybody. So Rob and Kim and Diz, Deb and Vicky and Kennard. Good morning, Kennard. Susie, you're missing Florida. You're heading back to New York to cold, raining weather with lots of leaves to rake. Well, I will tell you though that I remember raking leaves. I lived in a community in Virginia Beach called Bay Lake Pines, and the pines represented the massive number of pine trees. So the pine needles would fall in addition to leaves, but because there were so many pine trees, it was we called it pine straw. So when the needles would fall, we would rake the pine straw into the flower beds, and we would use that instead of mulch. So I do remember those days of raking quite well. And Diz Deb, you said your favorite character is Pluto. Very good. You know what? They've got a lot of Pluto stuff, actually, don't they? And Marcia says Tinkerbell. CZQ, Mickey's my hero. Of course, Vicky, you're Mickey too. Shrina, it's Minnie. Hey, Shrina, how are you guys? We were chatting a lot in the middle of the night. Kim, Lady in the Tramp. Oh my gosh. Mary Poppins, because you're. All right, that's funny because you're practically perfect in every way. I love it. Good morning, Daniel and Erica. It's okay that you're late. It's all good. Anyway, so I think now we got to the questions. I think we got all of them. Daniel and Erica, windows are going in today. Yes, yes, yes. Super exciting. When those windows go in, guys, for new construction homes, it is like Disney fireworks should be going off, because that really is kind of like the tipping the hat to going, okay, guys, we can keep it going. We're good to go now. We can just keep on doing the HVAC and getting the installation done, and that pre-drywall walkthrough, all that fun stuff. Anyway, okay, so let me see, just make sure I didn't. Hey, good morning, Forrest. I think I said hello to everybody. I think I did. Okay, so cool. All right, so then let's kind of move on. Let me go back here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to our Zillow. In honor of Halloween, I wanted to know what you thought of this particular Zillow listing. Okay, so this is Halloween week. This is the only photo we have of this lovely 2-bed, 2-bath, little over 1,200 square foot home in Kentucky, $142,000. This is clearly the kitchen, but I'm just curious as to what you think. This is an actual listing photo, guys. An actual listing photo. So full disclosure, when you're taking photos, some of us do them different ways. We have a camera, we have a light kit that we use to make sure that everything is lit properly. Yes, sometimes we will use the phone to get a specific angle of something that might look a little bit better, but we do have the camera and the lighting stuff. But we also try, and I will say try, because, when it's a resale home, we don't really, we can move a couple things off the counter or kind of stage something to make it look good. But if the home is just filled with stuff, there's only but so much you can do to make a house look fantastic. However, I am curious as to why, and I'm just going to hope that that is grape jelly that's on the floor. I'm just wondering why they didn't clean the floor prior to the photos. And Kim, that is my exact question. I don't know. Is that blood? I mean, candidly, it looks like something happened and they dragged that body out. I don't know. But this is an actual photo on the MLS. And, every once in a while, you're going to see a photo and someone's like maybe taking a picture of the bathroom, and you're going to see the person taking the picture is like a reflection in the mirror. Maybe they didn't quite cut themselves off properly, or sometimes people just don't give a crap and they just take really horrific photos, and they'll take the picture with someone's underwear laying by the bed, but they're just not paying attention. Full disclosure, I wouldn't want to pick up and move someone's underwear if it was laying by the bed, but I probably would opt to not take the pictures that day and give them a little more instruction to clean it. But in this case, what are your thoughts? I'm not so sure that for $142,000, this 2-bed, 2-bath home, I don't know. But in honor of, not in honor of, but because it is Halloween week, that was probably a good one for the day. But yeah, I mean, wouldn't you think you could mop it up? I don't know. I don't, maybe it's still an ongoing crime scene. I don't know. I don't see any yellow tape in there, but at any rate, I thought that would be a fun one for you guys today. So anyway, so moving on, I'm going to tell you what I'm watching, because again, it's Halloween week. Okay, so again, in recognition of Halloween, I'm actually on the last episode, and I've never heard of this before. It was literally, I just was finding something to watch as I do like late in the evening when I finally get in bed, the only way I can kind of calm down and get ready to go to sleep is just to kind of watch something for a little bit. So when I turned on Netflix, this was kind of one of those that just popped up. So it just came out, 28 Days Haunted. Um, I'm not like one for spooky and scary and stuff, but sometimes I will watch the shows because I love history and I love the history of old houses. And like by the way, there's a Facebook page called Abandoned and Forgotten. And that is just fascinating to look at these old houses or just structures that are just, they kind of got left to just kind of like wither and rot. And I'm always just fascinated to think about how that was someone's home at some point in time. There was, probably a family, there was laughter there was tears there was celebrations there was sorrow there. So sometimes if I ever watch those shows, it's more about the history of kind of some of those houses, especially when they're super, super old. But in this case, 28 Days Haunted, I think it's a little spooky. I mean, it's one of those paranormal things. So take that for what it is. But I thought that would be a fun one. And yes, Sydney, yes, this is on Netflix. Like I said, I just popped it on. I was looking for something to watch and it kind of popped up as new. If you watch Netflix as much as I do, just to kind of find different series, something to kind of keep my mind occupied late at night, you kind of get tired of seeing the same ones pop up over and over and over again. And this one popped up and it was new, and I was like, oh, okay. So, I'm almost done with that one. But yes, Sydney, it's on Netflix. So, and by the way, I have to go back to this question. And this is referencing the the Zillow house that we showed a minute ago. Javi says, if you put in an offer, do you get to see where that trail ends? Okay, that's funny. I don't know. We should call and find out. I'm a little scared. I don't know that I would want to know where that trail ends. I just want to know why in the world they would do that. I just don't know. I mean, unless it's a stain, but if it's a stain, replace the floor, like do something, like put a rug over it. There's things you can do. Anyway. All right. So any other questions? Kim, you said it makes me sad to see old historical homes decay. I know, right? And by the way, I really, 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 really am fascinated by that. So if you guys have any, like I mentioned, the Abandoned and Forgotten Facebook page, and that's just where regular people, if they're out and about and they take photos, maybe it's someplace where they live, or maybe they're out just exploring and they find these old things. So I remember when I was a little girl, my granny, which was my dad's mother, and my cousins, like my dad's sisters, that whole side of the family lived in a place called Suffolk, Virginia. And we would go there pretty much every Sunday. We'd get up, we'd go to church, we'd come home, and then we would go to my granny's house and play with the cousins and kind of see my aunts and uncles. And every once in a while, my Aunt Joan would say, hey, let's go for a ride. And so I was little at the time. And again, please keep in mind, we're talking no cell phones, no little handheld video game doo-wah-ditties, nothing to keep you occupied in the car. You would just get in the car and you'd look out the window, and that was what you would do. But that was the point of these little outings. We would go and we would just travel through these back roads. I mean, I don't even know where we were because, again, I was a kid. So I was just wherever my Aunt Joan was driving, she was driving. And there would be these just dilapidated kind of, skeleton-ish type of homes that were kind of nestled back off the streets. And I just remember being fat. I mean, my eyes got like so big, and I would just sit there and I would think. So I agree, Kim, when we think about some of those other homes, the abandoned and forgotten ones, at least the ones that I've seen there, just beautiful, beautiful architectural structures. And I'm always fascinated with how they could be so detail oriented and just so tight. The homes were like so like, I don't mean like tight, like narrow, although I guess some of them were, but I just mean, the craftsmanship was just, so visible. And again, the decoration aspect, just the architecture of it, the wood, the millwork, all of that was just so extravagant in some of these homes. And then just to kind of see them sit there and just, kind of rot. I always wonder what happens. So if you ever, like, seriously, if you've got shows to watch or a movie to watch or, a book to buy. If you've got anything about that, let me know, because seriously, I love that. I really, really do. We went to a friend's daughter's wedding a gazillion years ago, and they held it at a historical, well, it was on the grounds of a historical house in downtown Norfolk, in Virginia, and the restrooms we had to use were in the house, but it was kind of like, it was like you could buy tickets to go on a tour. And I remember we had to go in through the room that went into the kitchen where the dining room table was, to get to the restrooms. And I remember looking at that table and all of the woodwork all along that dining room wall. And like the table was the actual table and it was wood. So there were scratches and dents and dings. And I don't know. I kind of get a little bit like cuckoo. Sorry. A little bit cuckoo crazy with that. So, anyway, so let me know if you've got anything. All right. So, Allie says, don't forget to like the stream, folks. Help boost these lives. The fancy little algorithm. Yes. Thank you, Alyssa. We appreciate it. Yeah, because these are the things I know nothing about. And some of you actually have asked recently about what happened to the Wednesday night one. We were going to do like the Wednesday, kind of the wind down one. We did try it, we did a practice one, and then we did one, the poolside live. Honestly, and I knew this from the beginning, I don't have time in my schedule to do that all the time. Now, we could do that in lieu of the Monday one, and I know the Monday is probably not the best time for everybody, but it's kind of the time that works and fits into our schedule. But despite the social media presence and the YouTube videos and our little coffee time, I have clients and closings. And in fact, today I have a beautiful, wonderful thing. I can't wait. I had a listing, and I also had clients that purchased my listing. The children were the ones that came, adult children were the ones that lived here and came to see the home on behalf of the parents. And they chose it. They decided to submit the offer. They got the offer accepted, and they are actually coming today to see the home for the first time in real life. And that's going to be happening after our live stream is over. I'm going to be meeting them there. So, anyway, so, busy stuff actually happening with real clients. So we'll figure out if we ever can get back to the Wednesday one, but I do appreciate you joining me here on the Monday ones. All right. A couple more. If there's any more questions, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to probably end this a little bit early today. Rob says it could be a Halloween prank from the realtor. Most likely, actually. Maybe. I don't know when that listing went active. I mean, it could be, I guess, but not 100% sure on that one. All right. And then let's see, what did Kim say? I once lived in a house that was built in the 1700s, and boy, I could, oh, Kim, call me. Will you call me and tell me stories? Like, seriously, call me. And speaking of that, hold on. Call me, 407-848-8042. Like, seriously, I am just absolutely fascinated with that. And Kim, or Sydney, you agree, the 1700s, I don't even know how the house is still standing, but oh my gosh, that's amazing. Gary says, are you set for Halloween? I have a lawn alligator, so it should be interesting to see the trick-or-treaters' reaction. That's awesome. So what's funny is the listing that I have, they have like a little alligator sitting on their porch. And honestly, Eric and I had to step back a little bit. I mean, it was a baby one, but I was looking kind of going, I don't think it's real, but is it? I mean, it was enough that it made me stop and think a little bit. So that's funny. So you've got one in a lawn alligator. So it should be interesting. That's going to be funny. We are actually not really ready sort of ready for Halloween. I need to go this week. Eric is absolutely, it is critical to him that we give out full-size candy bars, and the only way I can get that is if I go to a big box store, if I head out to like BJ's or Costco or something. So I have to do that this week. We do have costumes. We're not really costume people. However, we are planning to do our Sunday drive in costume for this week. So stick around for that one. But other than that, we do have some decorations on the front porch. We have some skeletons sitting on the deacon's benches and some pumpkins and things like that. I have a whole lot of really nice interior Halloween decorations. I honestly don't know where they are. They are probably still in the storage shed from when we moved, and we just never were able to unload them. So I don't know where they are, but maybe next year I'll have a better one. And DCA says, go Philadelphia Phillies in the World Series. Okay, woohoo, in the World Series, yay. That's baseball, right? Yeah, baseball. Did you know my cousin actually plays for the Dodgers? Yep, my cousin is Chris Taylor, and he plays for the Dodgers, and we are super duper 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 proud of him. So that's exciting. But for you, I will say go Phillies. All right. Let's see. It was yeah, Kim. Like seriously, I want you to call me about that. Okay. All right. So yeah. Oh wait. Now Vicky wants to hear the stories too. Okay. So Kim, maybe we'll have to do like a conference call, and you can tell us some stories. Okay. Oh, we're getting into some spooky stories. Ricardo says I saw a shadow person once, got 2 inches face to face with it. Okay. So here's the thing. All right. So again, it's you know what? It's Halloween week, so let's just go ahead and continue and discuss this. So there is this is actually how it started. I'll tell you how my life ping pongs around. It's kind of like that children's book, If You Give a Moose a Cookie. Is that what it is? I think that's it. Where you start to do one thing and you ping pong, and every time you do something, you're kind of going in a different direction. That's pretty much me 24/7. So this is what happened. So on that page, abandoned and forgotten, and that's not about haunted houses or anything. It's just talking about homes that are old, that are falling apart. They're in disarray. They've been abandoned and forgotten. And that's what that page is for. In fact, they don't even tell you the locations of most of them because they don't want people to go out and vandalize. It's really just a sharing page. But on that page one day, someone commented, oh, the new season of Fear Factor starts today. And I was like, Fear Factor? What's that? And then somebody else commented, and I was like, well, what's that? So I'm searching around on like the guide for the TV thing, trying to find, well, what is Fear Factor? Is it Fear Factor? Destination Fear. That's it. That's not Fear Factor. Fear Factor is when you eat bugs, right? That's not it. Destination Fear. That's it. So sorry about that. Destination Fear. So anyway, so they saw that. I looked, I tried to find it. And so then I kind of got stuck into this little bit of Fear Factor, I'm sorry, Destination Fear, and some of those other ones. And again, not so much for the spooky paranormal as much as it was for exploring these old homes. That was kind of what I was in it for. But I did end up watching a few of them. So Ricardo, that kind of freaks me out a little bit because I've heard about that in those shows that I watch. If you give a moose a muffin, thank you, Diz Deb. But yeah, Ricardo, that kind of freaks me out. So maybe we should have a separate like Halloween like side conversation because I don't want to freak anybody out. But anyway, all right, my friends. So let's kind of wrap this up. If there's anything else, it is If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. I don't know. There's a lot of those books. Okay, so if not, you should find the book and get it for your kids because that's the way my brain is. Let's see. Jave says, will you be doing a video tour of your new listing? Yes, I will. Actually, we're doing that today. The listing, like I said, it's going active today as well. It'll go active this afternoon. Everything is prepped and ready except for my photos and the video tour. That is scheduled for this afternoon. We do have a few photos already from the beginning when it was first built. It's now a couple years old, but we do have those initial photos. And so we're going to be doing not only the photos, but we will also be doing a video tour of it as well. So if for any reason you are interested, or if you think you've got friends who are interested, text me separately at 407-848-8042 and let me know. It may not be up this Thursday, or maybe it will. I'm not sure when our videos are scheduled to be posted. I will tell you that we're getting ready to do a new model tour out in Johns Lake Landing. We're getting ready to head out there Thursday morning. They have a new model out there, that final section of that community, a new model being built. So we're gonna do that on Thursday. But it won't be posted on Thursday. So most likely it'll be the townhome one. But if you need it before then, just text me and let me know, and we'll send you that link privately. Anyway, all right, guys. So I want to thank you guys for joining in. Thank you again for hanging with me. I know we didn't do a lot of real estate talk. I don't think we got that many questions. We kind of went on a little sidebar talking about Halloween and things like that. But it is Halloween week, so no matter what you do, if you do anything or if you do nothing, I hope you have fun, whether it's that you turn your porch lights off and you ignore it, or whether you really go all out. And we are having a yard or a home Halloween decorating contest here in our community. We didn't enter because there's no way we would win. I just don't I can't do that much Halloween decoration, but it is pretty cool to see some of these people with their decorations out. So for all of the kids that are going to be out there trick-or-treating, for all of the adults that are going to be out there trick-or-treating, you guys have fun, enjoy it. But I will be back again next week. And of course, we have our Thursday video tour, and we also will have a Sunday drive. And don't miss that one because we will be in costume. I don't think you'll be able to tell what I'm wearing, but hopefully Eric's will be kind of funny. So, all right, guys. So as always, please remember that, let me find my button. Please remember that we appreciate you more than you know. Please stay safe, stay well. Happy house hunting. Oh, wait a minute. Please be good. Stay safe, stay well. Remember, we love you. That's it. And happy house hunting. All right, guys. Love you. See you soon. Bye.